kids, I am back with more of It's My Party and I'll Die If I Want To, Part 2 with Joe Flynn here. And I'm here with the director, Cameron. What's your last name?
It's Cloutier. Actually, you mean this is the second half of the interview,
not
part two of this film.
That's right, not part 2. It's part 2 of our interview. So, how did you come up with the story?
You know, interesting enough, it happened, God, probably around 96. My friends and I were just joking around. This is before Scream came out, and we talked about, well, wouldn't it be funny to just do like a sort of horror, I wouldn't say horror comedy, but that was how it started up. And it was just kind of a fun, jokey little thing, came up with the story, and just put it away, filed away in the closet. And then a couple of years later, or a few years ago, I was trying to think of what film to do, and the 2 films I was getting ready to film, the budgets kept coming in too expensive. So I was kind of told how much the budget could be, and so I had to scramble and figure out a film I could shoot for that budget. And so then when I came upon this story again, I said, well, I could do that. And so what was originally supposed to be like a 60-person party became sort of like a small intimate gathering of friends, so I could kind of explore the same issues but at a more concentrated, intense level.
Right, with that. So who's in the cast?
Well, the cast spans a lot of people, actually. There's a guy named Renee St. Leon. He plays the killer. There's a girl named Danielle Vernango, who, based off the film, got a couple parts on Veronica Mars, which was awesome.
Yeah, good for her.
There's a guy named Jake Hanover, who, because of the film, got a part in a James Woods movie. So, I mean, for a movie that not a lot of people have seen, it sure has gotten a lot of attention, or a lot of people,
got the attentions, different projects for them.
Exactly.
Yeah, hey. So how much was your budget for this film?
Well, total it cost about $10,000, but if you strip away the equipment prices and what I paid the actors, it cost probably what you see on the screen is about $200 worth of stuff, because that's stuff borrowed or friends coming forward and helping out with stuff. So yeah,
like, hey, borrow my house.
Exactly.
Feel free.
Exactly. So, but the whole film together was about $10,000.
Wow, that's a good little budget.
Yeah.
You know, of course. So, with this film, you have a lot of music in it. How did you decide to pick the music?
It just kind of came in when I was writing the script. Sometimes you just go, oh, this scene reminds me of this song. And so I'd listen to the song again to see if it would fit, and I go, yeah, it'd fit. And then I would start making lists of songs I wanted to use, and then I just narrowed it down and just picked the songs from there. So
what songs did you pick?
Oh, wow. The film, I would say, spans quite a bunch of different music. It goes from Leslie Gore music, 1950s sort of stuff, to Alanis Morissette, and it goes from classical music to
alternative music, let's say,
to Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles. I mean, it goes every which way, and yet it doesn't feel like it's going back and forth.
Right.
Yeah.
So, did you have fun making the film?
I did. It was pretty, I wouldn't say it was stressful to make, but it was a concentrated time. It took about 10 and a half days to shoot it.
Wow.
And I shot, the first week was with everybody. And then after that, the last 5 days was shot with 3 of the other actors. So we kind of got everybody's work out of the way, sent them home, and then we did the last 5 days with the 3 actors, and we kind of, that was kind of interesting, because the girl was supposed to be dating one guy at the beginning of the film and another guy towards the end of the film. So during the daytime, we'd shoot her on a date or making out with one guy, and then at night she'd be on a date and making out with another guy. So she was kind of busy.
She was a busy young lady.
For a few days, yeah.
Yeah, I swear it wasn't me. It's nowhere near their officers.
She was over 18, so it's okay.
Okay, thank God. No, but yeah, like, do you have any more filmed on the way?
I'm always planning stuff. It comes down to a variety of things. It comes down to, whether the cast I can get is available, or whether I'm even in the mood to do that film. And sometimes I'm in the mood to do a film, and then 2 months goes by me planning it, and I get tired of it, and so I just don't want to do it.
Chuck it and say...
Well, it's just, you just kind of put it on the back burner and say, I'll be in the mood for it someday, but just not today. And then, there's some films, the problem is when you start making films, because It's My Party it's like my 17th film. So it's like the problem is the more films you do, and the more well they turn out, the more inspired you get, and so then your films start to cost more than you can afford. So
Right.
It's it's a matter of getting financiers involved and that kind of thing, and you want the right financiers involved for the right things, and if you get, I've talked to a number of people where they wanted to throw in a bunch of money and said, we'd love to do it, but you have to make it PG-13.
Right.
And I said, I don't think you can. So you just have to say, you know what, I can't do it.
Right. It's like, yeah, it's kind of tough because it's like, don't get me wrong, a lot of horror movies nowadays, are aiming for that PG-13.
And there's
nothing wrong with
no,
it.
no.
But it's like, if you want to make a good horror film, and let's say you're going to add gore or some nudity, you don't want to be sit there and going like, it's PG-13, but really it's going to be rated R.
But see, it wasn't even about, like, that film in particular. It wasn't even about, because it's a true story, and it's a true crime story, and one thing that's the problem with it is that even if you took out the violence or the language, just the tone of it would get an R. Right? So there was no way to do it. So that's why I said, you know what, and then a few months ago, a few other people said, well, why don't you get it back together? So I tried to, and now Virginia Tech happened, so now nobody wants to do that.
Right.
So it's a matter of, just getting in there. I mean, imagine if Fight Club was to be made like 3 years after the fact. That ending would never have been in the film because of 9/11.
Right.
It never would have blown up the whole neighborhood of buildings.
No.
So.
Oh no, they wouldn't.
So it's all timing.
Yeah, it is. It is general timing of films. Because there are movies that you just go like, I don't think they should do something like it, but some people are bound to do it.